All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants. The Week 2 New York Giants O-line report. What we're gonna go through in this week's video, we're gonna talk about the guards at the end. Ben Bredesen and Will Hernandez. Andrew Thomas gonna give him like his full own 10-minute segment, and then we're gonna talk about Billy Price. And we're gonna start with Billy Price. Before we get into that, first like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Nick Gates injury sucks, man. That really sucks. I mean, it sucks just as the New York Giants. They need him. You know, he was their best offensive lineman last year. You know, he was better than Zeitler, more consistent than Zeitler. And it sucks because we were close with Nick. So I I think people that like know Nick and like Nick were probably more broken up about it than him because he's a psychopath. I mean, he was smiling on the card afterwards. You know, see some of the stuff he said afterwards, walking 2 days out. I mean, he's a nutcase. So, so he'll be fine. He'll come back. He's had a uphill battle his whole career. So this is nothing new. So I'm excited to get him back. But it does suck that we don't get to see him play. And it just it was a gruesome injury. It was a bad injury. But Nick is, I guess he's in high spirits, which is Nick Gates, and that's why he's the captain of this team, because he's just a nutcase. But this Giants offensive line definitely is going to miss him. They truly will miss him. I'm going to try and get him on here for like a 2-minute segment, maybe sometime this year, just to kind of say hi to the fans. And thank you for doing the Nick Gates versus the world stuff. I mean, that was pretty cool to see it trending. So, I mean, he's a big part of the team captain. So, anyways, Billy Price, who was brought in to start over Nick Gates at center and Gates moved to left guard. That was a mistake. Maybe it's just because it was Washington, but still, it was a mistake to do that. And we're gonna get into it. Billy Price has some like bad stuff. You probably put all together like all his worst clips at center from this game, and they might match what Nick Gates did all last year. You know, Nick Gates didn't give up a sack last year. I think he had like one QB hit in the last 8 games, and Billy Price beat that in just this game. So we're gonna go through it. Billy Price. All right, first play, we've got play action, bam, bam, and then he gets beat. Jones gets sacked. Let's go through it. So it's play action, good job. Hands are inside, he's leaning. And you just got to know that, like, once this play action plays over, once Payne is done, or is done making his reads, he's not just going to sit there and play that gap. I mean, as soon as Payne realizes, like, okay, Saquon Barkley doesn't have the ball, watch him use that left hand to get him off. And he gets inside him. He's got his hips opened up. I mean, you just got to be ready. You got to be ready to have that right foot ready to go down. And I think he just struggles with being able to mirror guys and get, work horizontally. I just think that's a huge struggle for him. And it showed up in this game. And I know they have a tough front, but gets beat on this rep. This was the one that Chase Young beat Thomas and Gates. He's kind of punching high. He's got short arms. And it's just not a violent first punch either. It's very just like I'm placing it. 97, who's not the best guy in their front, hits him with that left shoulder grab, and just totally works him. So I don't know if it's not upper body strength or what, but he gets worked on this rep. Next rep, gets killed again. I mean, just slow off the ball. He likes to do like this one-hand feeler thing, man. What is this hand doing back there? Shoot them up into his chest. That, and he's just not ready. Like, this guy's not going to bull rush you. He's not, like, you can't be only expecting a bull rush. So his hands come late. And Payne, swipes that right hand off. Uses his speed. His feet aren't ready to power down against him. And Jones is having to, scrape up in the pocket and get rid of the ball for a check down. Gives up a sack on this one. I mean, just Jones gets body slammed on this one too. It's this is partly him struggling with having shorter arms, but you got to try and break his hands off you, because this defensive line's owning him. He's got his hands inside, up in his shoulder pads. You can do whatever you want as a defensive lineman with this rep, and he does exactly that. I mean, that's like when the D line is going through their drills. Like the D line coach teaches him hey, grab him up in here, pull down, rip through. And that's more sacks from the center position for the New York Giants than they had all of 2020. Here, and this is something Gates that was very underrated about Gates. He didn't get nearly enough love for, of being cerebral in the play, not just calling out stuff before the play, being cerebral in the play, knowing where stuff is coming. 93 jumps this gap. Bredesen's got him. You see he's got his head over here. Now, Jamin Davis is going with the running back, but he doesn't know that. This looks like a loop, and you see this player coming in here. Come off. Get. Come on. Pick that up, man. At this point, he's got his head turned. Come off. Just let Bredesen be. He's got it. Again, man, I don't like seeing guys around my QB's legs like that. Doesn't play the full man, where you want to be head up when you're the center with these guys. See how he's got half and half. Payne's a beast though, but is just not ready to get to mirror him. Right at the QB's legs. Here, I don't want to be totally. It was hard to find some really good reps out of him, and I try to keep these balanced, and I don't like to, tear down players in this video too much, but this was a good rep. Bullion. Hands inside, moving your feet, and finish his ass. And boop! Hate that in the run game. Whoops, I was looking at the wrong guy. This is a bad run front anyways to run against. You got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I guess let me break down this run, and I won't put it in any other part of the segment. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys here. Now they're going to use motion, and they're expecting the motion to pull 53 out of this play, but it just brings Cam Curl into it. So it's just bad numbers. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Even if Bredesen, or even if Price blocks us up perfectly, this isn't great. Saquon runs it into Solder. He gets the edge set against him, beautiful. The 96 does a great job setting the edge. But anyways, speaking of Price, I gotta stop calling him Bredesen. I'm bad about that. But you guys know I'm talking about Price. Hands inside. You gotta get your helmet on this side. This D-line has got his hands on you now, and he's got you extended. You can't get much work done being like that. And it's just the D-line is just setting him up to, put him on his highlight tape, uses his right hand and benches him off with the swim. Next rep. Oh, and this is what I want to show you in the run game. So your first step, you want to be a foot forward. Watch his first step. It goes backwards. Which means his second step. Now watch the second step. It just stays in place. You're not getting for a guy who needs to get up into these defensive linemen. You've lost the battle on the first two steps. On the first two steps, he is the guy initiating contact with you instead of being the other way around. And it's not like he's been playing center for a long time. This is his 4th year in the NFL. I mean, he does that almost every rep in the run game. It's frustrating. But that just screws you, man. So it's even like his hands are good on this play, but because of the bad step, the D-line's getting his hands on you, and he's working you. And he's swimming you. And you're putting too much weight forward, so it's an easy play. It's an easy play. Play wrecking. Now, Booker does a great job on this rep. But the steps are bad, man. Watch it. Let's watch it on the next one. Watch the first step. Here, let me watch the rep. But watch the first step. Back. I mean, both feet go backwards on this one, man. And now, again, look whose hands are on each other first. The D-line's hands are on first. No bueno. No bueno. And because he doesn't able to finish that contact, comes off kind of high. He's not much knee bend. And so now you got to lean. And what happens when you lean? D linemen swim you like that. And they're tackling 26. I'll give him credit for this one. On the draw play for the touchdown, good job. Good angle. Watch DJ spin it. Wham! I've never seen him do so. He's only had that was the 5th rushing touchdown of his career. Yeah. But I like the spin. So Price, it was a tough matchup with Washington. And I said it before. Nick Gates' second worst game as a pro was versus Washington. His worst being versus Pittsburgh. So I'm not hitting the panic button on they can't play this guy. But if he does play like this next week, I think they need to look at Skura. All right, Andrew Thomas now. Now, I don't want to give him his own 10-minute segment every week, but he's going to get another one this week. Week 2 versus a really good front with Chase Young, Montez Sweat. Had some reps versus Jonathan Allen. He looked good. Not as good as week 1, but he looked good. And he just looks like a more confident player. Last year, he got better as the season went along. But you could still tell, his hands were kind of iffy. He seemed like he was overthinking stuff. This year, he just looks like a more confident player, and confident offensive linemen are good offensive linemen. So we'll go through it, but there's some stuff to correct. But overall, I think he had a really good week. And the run game, he didn't play good in the run game, that kind of pisses me off because he did. All right, first play, gonna do a jump set versus Montez Sweat. Play action. Bam. Sets, punch, hands in. So now Montez Sweat, who's got those long arms on him, but he gets him off, reloads his hands, bam, back inside. It's going inside, power down. Protects inside. Okay, Montez Sweat going to try and bend around the corner. Bam. Moving my feet, not getting them too close together. I'm strong down low. Good play. Good rep. This next rep, he protects the inside really well. Now it was a stunt. It was the rare time where a stunt wasn't picked up, but it worked out well because of the way Bredesen let his guy get upfield and the way Thomas was able to power down. But setting. Inside move. Now watch the right foot. Bam. That's beautiful. That's gold right there. It looks natural. Set. Bam. Power down. That's beautiful. And his hands come with it too. I mean, that's a beautiful rep. That's the kind of lane we want for our quarterbacks. And there's other times where he was challenged inside and he did well. That was the best one, but still. Now here's the time you got beat. Now they were sliding left, so I don't know if Gates may take some of this blame because they're sliding. They're doing a half slide to this player. So you may, like, you know, they may want to have Gates in there inside protecting, but still, let's just pretend that that's not what it was. Sets out. Good proportion. We're good right here. We're golden right here. But you got to be ready for that inside move and for that foot to power down. And Chase Young does a good job timing this up. That when the punch comes, and he's punching with that in the middle of that left foot coming back on a kick slide, gets beat inside. But here's what I like, because during the preseason, I was worried that he was protecting the inside too much and he was letting guys get around the edge. So I can live with sometimes getting beat inside, you know, because in the preseason it was just like protect the inside and then guys were just getting around the edge every single time, whether they were a good pass rusher or not. Now we got to clean that rep up. Got to have that foot ready to power down. Next rep. Montez Sweat. Here's something I'll say. I think he's a better pass rusher than him. I think Montez Sweat right now, I think Chase Young gets the hype because he has the pedigree. He's a second overall pick, had a good rookie year. But I think right now, if I'm a left tackle, I'd much rather face Chase Young than Montez Sweat. I mean, Montez Sweat just knows how to use his bull rush and his arms. Like, he gets guys all jacked up. He gave Jedrick Wills issues. Tristan Wirfs. Like, he gives dudes issues. So, and Andrew Thomas has very long arms, but sometimes he's gotten better about this because he's not lunging in his punches anymore. But they're still wide hands, and that's allowing Sweat to get into his chest and bull rush. Does a good job, but you got to break that arm off of you. Inside swipe. Don't try. I know he's trying to push it up and off, but break it off inside. Overall, not a horrible rep though. Here, beautiful. Set him down. They're gonna. You want to go with that inside counter? I'll take you. With it, man. You're realizing you're not going to get that edge. Put that left hand on his top of his shoulder pads, right hand on the small of his back, and fold his ass. And just set his ass down. Beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful. Here versus Chase Young. Good job washing around the pocket, reloading his hands. The punch doesn't land it. Chase Young does a good job with his hands. Keep your feet moving, reload him. Bam. Beautiful. Now he's overextending a little bit, but I love the hand reload and get him back in. That's where you want your hands at on a defensive end. Now he's leaning a little bit, but he's got athleticism to make up for it. Wash him around the edge. There's a throwing lane for your quarterback. Again, versus Chase Young. I mean, just shutting his ass down. Beautiful proportion, man. I'm telling you, he's not oversetting anymore, and he's not protecting the inside so much that he's giving up the edge. Keeping that. Look at that left hand. Take Chase Young's hand off, and then reload. Hands inside. I mean, this is beautiful, dude. I love this so much. He looks like a confident player. Makes me so happy. And again, bloop. Don't love that. Although I think Slayton's going to have a big year, even though he's had some drops. At least his drops don't turn into interceptions. All right, some blitz pickup. Good job picking it up here. Sets, protects the inside. Helps pass it off to Bredesen. And you're super athletic. You don't need to have perfect form. Just get in, just block a corner or safety or whatever number 20 is. So good stuff. And a nice throw to Caden Smith, who I think deserves more PT. And it kind of bothers me they signed Kyle Rudolph on there for Caden Smith. Next rep. Bad blitz pickup. Did I miss the blitz pickup? Here, you know what? This is important, so I'm going to find this real quick. So this play it's kind of a wrong place, wrong time, because Andrew Thomas is not supposed to block Chase Young on this. This is supposed to be Kyle Rudolph's block. So Andrew Thomas is supposed to block inside, and that's why you see him he's watching the ball, but like he's He's looking to see what's happening on this side. So he sets to him, but he's not playing on the block him. Like, he's trying to get him upfield to get Kyle Rudolph to come and wham him. But the issue is that they have a well-timed blitz. So they're sending 2 from this side. And by the time Andrew Thomas notices this blitz coming, it's too late. So I chalk that up kind of to like wrong play call versus the wrong blitz. So, all right, back to the plays I wanted to talk about. All right, next rep. All right, let's talk about the run. We're running outside zone here. Or not outside zone, but an outside running play. Beautiful rep. Beautiful rep versus Jonathan Allen. Don't let the end of this play distract you from what Thomas did. He's trying to get outside shoulder. Beautiful. That's where you want your helmet. Hands are inside. Feet are moving with him. Beautiful. That's Jonathan Allen, man. I mean, we watched him in the Billy Price portion. He's a strong mofo. I tried to do a middle of a MFer and mofo. Next rep. Moving this dude. Moving Jonathan Allen. So let's pretend this is a handoff instead of the read option, which is the way that Andrew Thomas is blocking. Hands inside, low. Beautiful. Beautiful hands. Wide base. Getting movement. Moving some big old freaking strong, high-paid defensive lineman. Now here was his worst run rep of the game, and I hate this play, I hate this formation, I hate everything about it. What does he do wrong on this one? He gets too aggressive. He's going for this big down block, and because he does that, he's gonna he wants his helmet on this side of the player, and to block him down, but he just misses his mark, gets inside, and at this point you can't win this rep. You can't win this rep. You've lost already. There's nothing he can do to win this rep. Now, this next play is the play that everyone said was his worst run rep, and it's not. It's not. It's this toss play, and toss plays are hard to run in the NFL because NFL defenses are smart and they're athletic. He can't get outside shoulder. He does what his job, which is to get inside. Saquon's got to cut up. I don't know what Saquon's doing here. Saquon's got to cut up. He's got to see. He can't read this block. He has to read that this player is getting upfield. Andrew Thomas is not getting outside of him. He needs to read that. Now, when he catches the ball, and this is why toss plays, I kind of hate toss plays. Sometimes they'll work and go for big plays, but I kind of hate them because they're so risky and I think more times than not, they probably get tackled for a loss. But when he catches this ball, if he cuts up, they might get a gain. It might. But Kenny Galladay does a horrible job blocking. Bredesen misses his dude because Saquon doesn't cut it up. And that's the other thing. It's like offensive linemen, they don't know where their running back's going. They don't know if he's cutting it up or taking it outside. So Andrew Thomas did nothing wrong on this play. And on this one, he pancakes a linebacker, Cole Holcomb, who, by the way, tripped Saquon Barkley on another play, which kind of pissed me off. So what I like is help with the double, pick up your linebacker, drive his ass, fold his ass, now walk over him. Who's Oak Daddy? Pat him on the head. I know that's not what he was trying to do. But a pancake. So another freaking good game for Andrew Thomas. Starting off the 2021 season hot. After a bad preseason game versus the Patriots and everyone panicked. All right, let's finish off talking about the guards. Will Hernandez and Ben Bredesen. Hernandez, who we'll start with, I think he had a good bounce back game after a really bad game versus the Broncos. Nothing spectacular, but he played a decent game. That baseline I talked about with Will Hernandez, he met that baseline. Ben Bredesen came in relief versus a top interior defensive line with Washington, so wasn't good, was bad in pass pro in the run game. Some good stuff getting to the second level. Wasn't moving guys a ton, but nothing like really bad. He wasn't getting shed like crazy. But in the pass game, there was some bad stuff. So let's get into it. We'll start with Will Hernandez first. First play, we're going to go through his pass pro. Versus Deron Payne, who's a beast. Again, on this play, you're trying to create that that U. Hands inside. Good job. Hands inside, moving the feet, extending out. He goes to come back inside. Left foot. Bam. Beautiful. Good rep. Billy Price comes over and helps him at the end, gives him a little pop. Good stuff. Next rep. Starts good. Finishes bad on this one. But by time, it doesn't matter by the time the ball's out. Sets out to him. Beautiful. Helmet on helmet. Payne counters inside. Hernandez gets his hands inside. Feet moving. Good rep. But he just takes his momentum too much into it. Payne's able to shed. But the play, when you do two counters a defensive line does two counters in one play. Well, by the time they probably finish their moves, the ball's already out. Next rep. Good stuff versus the bull anchoring in. Not the greatest hands. He's got that bull rush. So that's how he loses the initial pop. But watch the feet. Bam, 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 anchor. Good leverage. He's not leaning. Now he's got his hands inside. Billy Price screws it up, though. So good rep for Will on that one. Beautiful rep here. Sets to him. Playing the full man. Beautiful. Getting hands inside. Good anchor. Good feet. That's the kind of stuff you want to see out of Will Hernandez. That's what Will Hernandez can be. We just need to see it more consistently. Gets killed on this one. Now, part of me gets a little frustrated because this isn't legal by the D lineman. You're not allowed to hook and just basically bear hug offensive lineman. That's defensive holding. Like that's not legal. But I didn't want to not put this rep in there because he gets taken for a ride. But it's like, it's illegal. Here's where you can kill Will Hernandez on the stunt. Setting out. So he does a good job passing this off to Soldier. Like Soldier doesn't really help him out a ton by powering down. Like you can tell, Sweat's getting ready for this stunt. Power down, Soldier, power down. So he puts it in Soldier's lap. Good job. But you got to peel off quicker. It's like you can't, don't turn Soldier's mistake into your mistake. Because you did you put it in his lap. So would it have been the best stunt pickup? If you leave right now, is it the best stunt pickup? No, but it's good enough. Come off. And it's not like he doesn't know it. He's not putting that in Soldier's lap thinking like, it's just one, it's just both, it's 2v2. In the run game, thought he was solid. Wasn't his best game. Wasn't, moving guys off the ball like crazy, pancaking. But he kind of consistently did this type of stuff. Like on these run out blocks. Hands inside. Good leverage. Good feet. If I think we talked about this play earlier, but like this is where the hole's supposed to be. They're not banking on this play in here. They're not banking on him jumping into the hole. Like it would have been a huge run off of Soldier. Off of Will. Get into the second level here. Beautiful rep here. Making sure this player's getting on the Soldier's right side. Seal it off. That's a hole. It's not his fault. Soldier falls on his face. Good game. All right, Ben Bredesen, left guard. Some bad stuff in pass pro. A lot of stuff at Jones's feet. Break this hand off of you. There's no attempt to break those hands off. Loop this left hand around and just slam it down. Get those hands off of you, though. A guy like Jonathan Allen will kill you like that. Allen embarrasses him on this one. I mean, I don't even know how to critique this one. Just overextends on his punch. Hands are high. I mean, look, he hits him in the helmet. Like, his hands are way too high. And he's just not expecting that counter at all. You got to have your feet ready. On this one, this is the touchdown, but he's just, again, this is that hooking thing by the D-line. Touchdown. Nice throw. That was an audible, by the way, from All Curls. Just doesn't really play the full man. Gets blown up. I mean, that's that hooking thing, so it's hard for me to be too mad at him for that. Here's what he can be, like, in pass pro. You know, do this stuff consistently. Like, look. Sets towards him. Watch the hands. Bam. Hands inside. Good feet. Not leaning. That's what we need more consistently out of Bredesen. So, again, he was brought in relief. He's new to this team. So, I'm not going to... And it's against a great front in Washington. So, I'm not going to overreact to this in the run game. I mean, this is beautiful. Nice down block. Just puts him on his ass. Just comes for the party fast, violent, and just roll those hips through. Bam. He does a good job getting to the linebackers. I'll say that. By the way, so getting through traffic. Good job. Watch his foot. I mean, come on. I'm glad he buried him after that. Because I hate crap like that. I mean, he definitely tripped him. Good job getting to the second level on this next one. This is the play that Thomas screwed up. And gets a nice piece. Get to the second level. Got your helmet on the right side. And drive those feet. Move them. I mean, look at everybody else. And look at Ben Bredesen. Good stuff. So, not the game that it was cracked up to be out of the offensive line, but good. And Jones is starting to, play better and manipulate the pocket, get the ball out on time. So that's good stuff. So, I think Shane Lemieux should come back and play. He's out for another 2 weeks. Thomas looks like a more confident player, but stuff to work on. Solder, if we can get guys to just run around the edge, I mean, Solder, we can work with that. And then Will, it was good to see Will bounce back, and Billy Price. We'll see. I'm worried about Billy Price. So if you like this stuff, like, subscribe. We'll have a film report for just the game in general. We'll have a stat report, podcast, all that good stuff. So appreciate you guys. See you on the next one. Until then, let's go Big Blue.